guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm in a mood to do a little story time and tell you guys about that time that I got arrested at Six Flags. That was my first arrest ever in my lifetime, and that was at Six Flags in the States. So okay, let's begin the story. I was at home in Germany, and a friend of mine wanted to visit her cousin who lives in New York. So she was planning to go with my sister, but my sister couldn't. So I went instead with her, and that was like pretty spontaneous. I was like, "Oh, you're going to New York? I'm coming. I'm so going with you." So like 2 weeks in advance, I booked my flight, and we went to New York together. So the first week we were there, her cousin was in a church, local church, and they were kind of planning to go to Six Flags with the church group. And since we were staying at his house, he invited us to go with them. And he was like, "It's free for you guys, you just come along with us." And they got a little van, and so they're going there with the youth church group, I think. So we joined them, and we were super excited. That was like our first week ever. Like for me, that was my first stay in the States, in New York. I was super excited. My friend was the second time there, but the first time she was there, she was like really young, so she didn't really remember much. And so everything we did, we were so excited, like times 10. Like everything, like even going to Six Flags. We've been to amusement parks before here in Europe, but it's different because we're in the States, and everything seems so big and just like huge, like everything everywhere you go. So we were driving there, and we got the I don't even remember. It was in the state of New York, but I don't remember where exactly the Six Flags there was. So we were driving there, and then we got there, and like we were there like for half an hour. And what we did basically was, me and my friend, we were like going, I don't know if we went like to a roller coaster or some kind of that. We went like some kind of somewhere else to just, we were so excited that we just wanted to have a look first at all the things before we got on something. So the other group, they were already going to one roller coaster. They were already standing in line, and we figured, okay, you guys can go, and we will just join you later. So we join you like maybe like in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, because this line was so huge. So the people from church, they already went there, and me and my friend, we were like we were not far, but we were kind of walking around just to see, to have a look, because we were, as I told you, like we were super excited about everything. So we just wanted to walk around a bit and have a look until we got there. And so my friend's cousin also joined his friends, the church group, and they were already standing in line. They were like, "Okay, you guys can go around, and then you come join us like in 10 minutes or whatever." And so they went, and yeah, so like after 10-15 minutes, or I think, yeah, maybe like 20 minutes, we went back, and they were standing in line, and the line was like super huge. So but they were already like getting like closer to the roller coaster, to the entrance actually. And so since the line was super huge, like we just walked past the people to look for our friends actually. And we walked and walked, and we saw them, like they were like in front, of course. And so we just joined them and just stood by them, like, because those are our friends, and they waited for us. So we figured, okay, we're not gonna stand in line like behind, because those are our friends. They went there first. And yeah, so we just joined them as if like nothing special. Like for us, that's normal. Okay, you guys go ahead, you stand in line, and we'll just join you later on. Okay, so that's what we did. But we didn't know that it was actually a problem to some of the people. And so there was this girl right behind us, and she started like to get really like an attitude, and like, what do you think you're doing, and things like that. And since we were like kind of new, like we didn't really know what was going on, my friend's cousin got really into it with this girl. In the beginning, he was just like friendly. He was normal. He was like, okay, he's like, those are our friends. Like we stood in line before and we waited for them, so they came and joined us right now. So where's the problem? But this girl, she had such a problem with it, and what she did basically, so they really got into it. And at one point, even I think like she touched him, and then he touched her back, like, but he didn't really hit her or do anything. He just touched her. But they really got in a heated argument, and then she called, and then like a few minutes later, there was like some kind of police showing up, and but they weren't really like, they were like officers from Six Flags, but they weren't really dressed in like the normal police officer uniform that I know like from TV. I don't know how it is in the States, mind you. Like this was like the first time I was there ever, so everything I knew, everything I saw was just familiar to me from movies basically. So those two officers come, and they were like, what's going on and stuff like that. And this girl, she was like, oh, this man touched me, like my friend's cousin. He touched me and things like that. And he was like, no, like she touched me first. And then just because like my friends came and joined us and things like that. And she was like, yeah, they skipped lines and blah, blah, blah. So they were like arguing forth and back. And then police was like, okay, you guys come with me. Like me and my friend, he was like, you come with me. And I was like, what? I was so, okay, in the beginning, I was just like, what? But to a point, like, I didn't realize that it was really serious, because to me, it was just ridiculous. I was just like, what? Like, are those people, like, even serious? And the whole time, I was like smiling, because I didn't really realize that it was that serious. Like for me, it's not that serious. Like and even if we skip lines, like it's not a big deal. It's not something that you would get arrested for. Actually, like here in Europe, it's not something that you would get arrested for. But then I reminded my friend, she was also like, she was so astonished. She was like so surprised. And I then reminded her, okay, we're in the United States. We're like the land of the impossible, where you can get arrested for any and everything. This is like how we know, how we perceive the States, like from Europe, because here you don't get arrested for skipping lines, but you don't get arrested for, I don't know, in America someone can drink coffee that's too hot and can sue the company, but here in Europe that's not possible. So this is what we knew about America. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is serious, because obviously they were taking us to the police station. And that's when I realized, okay, this is kind of serious. It's getting serious here. But still, I was like talking to my friend's cousin. I was like, what is going on? Like, why are they doing this? Like, what's the problem here? Well, and the officer was like, you skipped lines, so you're arrested basically. So they didn't really put us in handcuffs or anything, but they let us know, like, move, okay? We're going to the police station with you guys. And since we were like by ourselves, my friend's cousin, he went with us. And me and my friend, she didn't say anything. She was just like, her face expression was so funny. It was just like, she couldn't manage to say anything. She was just like so perplexed, like her face said it all. And I was just talking to her cousin. I was just like, and I was even talking to the officers. I was just like mumbling that, but for them to hear, I was just like, this is so ridiculous that you get arrested for skipping lines. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And like, this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened to me. Like, arrested for skipping lines. Like, seriously, there are more important things. Like, that was so, like, they made such a big deal out of it. Like, anything. We went to the station. They sat down. They took our I don't know if they took our IDs or anything. And at that point I was really like, oh my gosh, okay, they're even taking our IDs, they're writing down our names and everything. And I was just thinking, okay, this is like our first week here in America, we don't want to get deported. Like, we were just starting to panic, like, because you know, we thought like everything is possible in the States, like you get deported and then you're not able to go back or anything like that. We were like just imagining crazy stuff, crazy stories. And like I think like even I don't even remember if I had my idea. Yeah, they took, no, I don't even think that they I don't even remember quite well if we had our IDs with us and if they really like took them, or we just invented something and just told them like our names because they asked us for our names. So yeah, so kind of like this. So this is what we did, and then they wrote down everything, they noted down everything. And then they were also talking to my friend's cousin, because the girl touched him first, and she said that he touched her, but she actually touched him first. So they were kind of telling him that he could sue her, and he was saying that he didn't want to do that because he didn't want any problems, basically, because we were there to just have a nice day. So we weren't there to have to cause any problems, to have any problems. So he was just like, no, that's fine, I don't want to sue her, like I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. But the girl, she was insisting, actually she wanted to like sue him or do anything, do something, but he didn't really actually touch her though. So this was like another case apart from our case. So they kept him like in another room actually. So I also think, I don't remember if they also like kind of arrested him because of that case, because he allegedly touched that girl. So they were also, yeah, they were also like talking to him in another room. And me and my friend were just like sitting there, and I was like talking to her the whole time. We were talking in German to each other, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is the ridiculous thing ever. But I wasn't really scared anymore. I was just sitting there and just smiling because the whole situation was just so funny to me. And then they wrote down kind of like a certificate with our names that said that we were banned from Six Flags for a whole year, for 1 year. So after they were done, they gave us the certificate, and we were able to go, like we left. And obviously we didn't stay there any longer. We like the group joined us later, and we went home, straight back to the Bronx, where we stayed at my cousin's place, at my friend's cousin's place. So this was the story of how I was at Six Flags for 30 minutes just to get arrested and to get banned for a year. So, but we were laughing at this afterwards with the certificate. I don't even know if I hung it up at home somewhere, or like it was just a ridiculous piece of paper that said we were banned for a year, and we didn't even like go back like for a year. So what's the point? Like we weren't even from there. So all this for nothing basically. But this is the time, yeah, I got arrested. Mind you, my first time in the States and my first time at Six Flags. I'm there for 30 minutes. I didn't even get to ride the roller coaster. I didn't even get to ride anything, because I was arrested at Six Flags. That was our experience, first time experience in the States where you can get arrested for any and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and thank you so much for watching. To hear more stories, just let me know, and I'll see what kind of stories I can tell you about. So thank you so much, and see you next time.